Hello friends, I'm Carrie Ann with Salty and Bright, and I wanted to talk to you about the kingdom of heaven. It was important for Jesus to share the kingdom of heaven, and with his return, his imminent return coming so soon, I wanted us to know what we're looking forward to. And so Jesus described the kingdom of heaven starting in Matthew chapter 13, verse 24, which states, "Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man that sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way." So what we see in the story is that there was good seed, there was an enemy, and while nobody was looking, while men were sleeping, the enemy came and put sowed counterfeit seeds called tares in this man's field. And when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So initially they didn't even realize that this counterfeit was in the field with the good seed. So the servant of the householder came and said to him, "Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares?" So they're asking, "Hey, didn't you sow some good seed? Where did these tares come from?" And he said unto them, "An enemy hath done this." So the master is recognizing that there's another actor in this play, that an enemy came and sowed the tares. "Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up?" But he said, "Nay, lest we gather up the tares, we root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn." So what do we find from this story? Again, Jesus is talking about the kingdom of heaven. There's a master, there are servants, there's an enemy, there are reapers. We are, the good seed is considered followers of Christ, the church, that will be gathered into the barn. The tares are the counterfeit, those who look like they're Christians, those who want to appear like they're serving God, but they're not. Their hearts are far from him. They'll do things and say, "Look at me," or they'll do things to show that they could possibly be following Christ, but their motivation is all about themselves and it has nothing to do with God. We find this with carnal Christians. Carnal Christians are people who believe that they follow Christ, or they say that they follow Christ, so they're doing a lot of lip service, but their walk is far from Christ. They do not love each other, they do not love their neighbors, they gossip, they lie, they cheat, but they may go to church every Sunday. Again, want to appear as if they follow Christ, but they really don't. And again, in any warfare, there are covert operations where spies are placed in strategic places to gather information. Sometimes people who are explicitly for the enemy, openly for the enemy, are placed in different ministries to bring about discord, to bring about doctrines of devils, to bring about curses on the church. And the church, sometimes they don't even know, because the person look like they're Christians. They might speak the jargon of Christians, and so they're also counterfeit. What happens to the counterfeiters, or what happens to the people who pretend to be followers of Christ who actually are not followers of Christ? They're considered tares, they're bound up, and they're burned. However, the wheat, the good seed, they are gathered up into the barn. Jesus thought it was very important to share this particular analogy. Where do you stand? Are you wheat or are you a tare? When you examine yourself, are you truly following the teachings of Christ? Are you really loving each other? Are you really loving the Lord your God with all your heart and soul and might, and your neighbor as yourself? Are we loving God and loving others? Do our actions say I care about you and I want the best for you? So friends, if you haven't yet done so, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, hit that thumbs up, and tell me about what you think about the tares in the wheat. Go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section.